Yo guys, welcome to the game. Today we're going to go through a Magnus Carlsen game. So let's get straight into it. So Magnus starts with knight f3 and we quickly transpose into a normal d4 opening. Now black signifies he wants to play the Slav defense, that supported central pawn from a flank pawn. So Magnus just develops the c3 knight like normal. Now black goes into the semi-Slav, not developing the light square bishop first. So even though he's enclosing the bishop, usually the bishop will have a future, maybe even pushing this pawn or breaking and developing the bishop onto one of these diagonals. So now we have the pin from the bishop. The question's put to it straight away with h6. Magnus just retreats as soon as the pin. And now develops his queen to b6, which attacks this square and puts pressure on the centre. And we go into the line of the Moscow gambit from white. It defends with queen c2, putting his queen on quite a nice diagonal, which is quite normal in these lines. Now the line is black moves his knight into the centre, obviously getting out the pin, and the knight can't be whipped off here. It's quite, we'll just be losing this pawn, so we have to move the knight somewhere, and that, wherever we move it, black will just take the central pawn. This might be the Moscow gambit, but that's not the pawn we want to gambit. So the normal move here is just e3, supporting the centre, letting us get the bishop out. Black now develops his own bishop in a pin. It develops, and the Moscow gambit lets black win this extra pawn here. It's going to be a double pawn anyway, so oops, didn't mean to do that. White castles, he doesn't play king f1, not sure that'd end so well. So now black accepts the gambit, he's kind of gone all in already. So now white's got this nice piece play, all his pieces are quite active. Black's only got two pieces developed, but they're sort of tangled. Right, so in this position black takes. White takes. Now black really has to untangle his pieces and spend even more time re-establishing these ones away from the queen side. So white jumps straight in with this knight, which can't be kicked that easily. He's happy for black to develop one of these pieces, because the same move will probably work. We'll just support it with this and these pieces will be displaced. So black tries to solve these pieces being displaced on the queen side and attacks the knight with the bishop, threatening to double these pawns and give white this horrible pawn structure. But white just defends. Now black definitely doesn't want to take in this position, because it would open up this file. This solid pawn structure, it's double pawns but it's solid and it's holding down white's king side, and some attack's going to be on the card soon, and it definitely can't be kicked like this. The light square weaknesses look horrible for the knight, for the queen to jump in. Black would probably be getting mated if he did that. So black brings his queen back closer to the centre, supporting the bishop. Now one of the hardest moves to find before taking any attack. All the pieces are quite developed, so a positional move of recentralising the queen onto these in the centre of these light squares, and supporting this plan of f5, which is going to break open the centre. So we're eyeing the king now behind this f5 breakthrough. So black plays something a little too slow. He plays b6, the idea of developing his bishop into one of these diagonals, because his pieces are quite congested now. He could stop the congestion by taking this knight, but that would give white all this activity, so he doesn't really want to do that, so he tries to develop the bishop like this. But in this position, a little tactics on the cards, which is problematic to say the least. If you haven't seen this game before, you might want to pause it and try and guess the move here. So white's got all the activity. There's a tactic on the cards exploiting his black's king still in the centre. You know, when the king's still in the centre, we have all these pieces lined up, corresponding on these points. There must be something. So you might want to pause it and think about the move. I'm just going to go ahead and show you. The move is knight takes f7. Now there's a couple of interesting variations. What was played is queen takes f7, accepting it, but if we have king takes f7, I believe f5 is just crushing. Obviously black can't take because of the pin. Black's in real trouble now. No matter where he moves, white's going to get this passed pawn, and white's king will just be in the centre with all this trouble. If he moves back here, for example, we could probably take with either the pawn or with the bishop. Probably the pawn's better. And black's in real trouble here. The queen's going to be jumping in here. These bishops are slicing into his game, cutting off his king from getting away. Yeah, he's in some trouble there. So what was played was queen takes. We have the same plan of ripping open these files, getting this correspondence between these bishops on in the geographical area of black's king, which is something that you definitely shouldn't underestimate when you're playing. It's one of something Kasparov's mentioned a lot, that when all the pieces are on the side with the enemy king and all his opponent's pieces are on the side of his queen, he knows there's going to be attack. He's not worried, even if his queen side's falling, crumbling. One of his famous quotations, I believe, was something like, when the house is burning down, you don't care about, I can't remember what it was, but some single part of the house far away. You care about the main part, you care about the king. So when all your pieces are geographically close to the black king, there's something on the cards if black's pieces aren't there to defend. We have this beautiful correspondence here. Black tries queen to h5. Now we have bishop takes e6, threatening this discovered check. Now black tries to defend with knight to d7. There's no absolutely, well, it's probably still good for white, any discovered check, but white plays a stronger move, pushing this pawn forward to rip open this file. Plays f6, takes knight f6. This is beautifully calculated. Rook takes f6. Black must take. Sorry, he doesn't play. He doesn't have to take that. Sure. So black plays queen takes h4, a queen sacrifice to try and white can't really take here. Otherwise his pieces would just be dissolving. Black would have enough pieces for the queen basically. So in this position, instead of going in for any of that, white continues with the attack, not distracted. This is quite well calculated. The queen takes king e7. King e7, sorry. Then we have rook check, and a beautiful little finish. King takes here, checkmate. If black tried to move the king away here, you'd just be mating like this. If black tries to worm out of it like this, we've just been mating like this. Black can't take here, otherwise queen e6 will be checkmate. So if she takes here, then that's just checkmate. And then we're just mating him like this. Nothing you can do. So what a beautiful game, beautiful finish. And it all started from this gambit opening where black's pieces were quite displaced and white managed to take advantage of that. Black really didn't get his king out of the centre in time, and just the placement of the pieces was too problematic for black to get around. So I hope you enjoyed this game, and join me